Rev it up and roll with America's premier motorcycle talk show. Open Road Radio is on the air with Gina Woods and other guest hosts. And now, with riding on their minds, here's your hosts of Open Road Radio.
Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to Motorcycle Mondays. Penny FXR and Dazzlin in the studio in Sin City. We want to welcome our K-Shop 1400 AM listeners and 107.1 FM Las Vegas. You can give us a like, give us a share on LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on YouTube. So good evening.
Yes, good evening, everybody. How was your weekend?
Oh, I'm telling you, every single weekend is packed with motorcycle stuff.
Yes.
Saturday, we had another accident scene management class over at Full Throttle Law. Women in the Wind had their own private class, and we got another 28 riders out on the road trained to be bystanders in case something happens.
Absolutely.
Friday night?
It's wonderful.
Where were you?
I was at Vintage Bike Night. Main Street Moto had their 12th anniversary of Vintage Bike Night. They've been doing it die hard 12 years, every third Friday. It was amazing. So it was their anniversary party, and it was Steve's birthday. We had an amazing turnout. We had a handful of vendors, but the community really came and support Main Street Moto and Vintage Bike Night.
Yeah, that's great. And I think that's kind of how it started, right? Tara wanted to throw a birthday party for Steve, and then thus born Vintage Bike Night. And that's the third Friday in Las Vegas of every month. And it is at 18 Bend.
Yep. Downtown Las Vegas.
Down in the
Arts District. Yep.
Yeah. And you get more information. Just go to Main Street Moto on Facebook and check it out. And go ahead and mark it on your calendar. We also Sunday, Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day to everyone.
Yes.
We had a slow roll maneuver class. So Matters, a local nonprofit that focuses on training motorcycle riders to survive the streets. So this one was focused on how to get through an intersection, doing U-turns, and those kind of things. So it was really great.
Very good.
So we've got a great show for you tonight. We have Dan and Irene Doughty that are going to be here talking about the ThirstRock Hydration tank system. I could not live without mine. So basically you've got hydration at your fingertips. So it's like a, what are those Camelbacks that you got? But this one fastens to your tank. So you have it right in front of you. So you can take a sip every 5 to 10 minutes.
You're going to need that soon.
I'm going to need it. And I just used it on my way back and forth to Colorado. So I won't leave the city limits without it. We also have Michelle Jameson, the owner of Bandanas by Michelle. As you can see, she puts the Daz in Dazzlin. And she's been making custom bandanas for me for over 10 years. But we're going to hear about how she lived on her motorcycle for over 5 years and traveled all over the country on her blinged out Indian. And she's going to talk about how she makes women and men, I guess, as well, razzle and dazzle out there on the open asphalt. And our third guest
is my good buddy, Rob Carlo. Rob actually is the owner of Long Distance Motorcycle Riding. It's a group on Facebook that you have to check out. And the Tour of Honor. He goes by Road Warrior on Instagram and Facebook, aka RW. And you want to talk about somebody that pounds some miles. And he has a reason why he pounds these miles.
Yeah, we're going to hear a lot more about that. But he's got over 300,000 miles on a motorcycle and riding to bring awareness to our heroes out there.
And he's hitting over 120 Harley-Davidson dealerships before the 120th anniversary.
And we are honored that he took a break from the rain today. He is in Canada, so you will see a little delay it's going to be like a B-rated Chinese movie. So try to follow along a little bit. There might be a small delay.
We should have some background music for
we
that.
should, right? Because
No.
he's out in Canada. So
Yep.
let's kick off the fastest hour on the radio in Motorcycle Monday. And we're going to go ahead and bring on Dan and Irene Doherty. And they're going to tell us about the ThirstRock Hydration system. I first heard of this system from Tom Christian when he met you all with Quick Throttle Magazine out in Sturgis. And I got to talk to Tom a couple of nights ago on the phone, and I told him you were going to be a guest on the show, and he's to give you a big hello and say hello. And he's still using his system, and he loves it. So welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. And I got to say, we meet a lot of spectacular people. And Tom, yourself, you guys are absolutely among the top group. Yeah.
So tonight, our listeners can actually win a ThirstRock system. So let me just tell you how you can do it. You are going to make a comment. So give it a comment, give it a like, give it a share. And later on this evening, we will choose a winner of a ThirstRock Hydration tank bag, and we will contact you and get that taken care of and sponsored by Full Throttle Law. And Dan and Irene will ship it directly to you at your home. So go ahead and get in the comments and tell us why you want one.
Yes.
All right. Tell us a little bit about it. Tell us about how the product was created. I mean, just tell us everything, because I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Well, again, we're excited to be here. So it was, I had retired. I was happily retired, and we were doing what retired folks do. We were traveling. And as an avid hiker and a biker, I love doing both. I love skiing in the wintertime and doing those things in the summertime. They were my favorite summer activities. I retired out of Phoenix, and we moved up here to the mountains to get out of the heat. And I was driving through Moab, Utah, and I'm going, and it was like 107, 108 in June. And I was going like, my goodness, it's like Phoenix hot. So when I hike, I usually throw ice in my bladder. And I said, well, if I have my backpack, I could throw it in my tank. And how would I do that? Well, it's a safe way to do it, and the most versatile way to do it. So what we did, and by the way, that picture you're showing, that's Rick, who we were talking about in the pre-show.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, yeah. So we, so I came up with a system. It took about 2 years and about 50 ways not to make it. But we designed a patented system that is really taken off, and it's dual insulation and ability to stay with the rider, because we give you shoulder straps, stays with the rider, and then you can take it off there and move it to throw it on your back when you're off the bike, that kind of thing.
So let me just add, when he was riding through Utah, he dehydrated so bad that by the time I heard from him, and I was in South Dakota waiting for him, he basically was like, I almost died.
Yeah.
I was so dehydrated. And then, once you have an incident like that, you're kind of more susceptible to it. So he really got to the point where even hiking, he was dehydrating too much. So typical wife, I just said, well, make it. It can't be that hard.
Right.
And he did.
Yeah,
So here we are 5 years later, and really, really, getting into the market, not just with two-wheelers, but with three-wheelers and with side-by-sides. And we'll go over the benefits of it and just all of the details as to why it's superior to anything that's on the market. And there's nothing like it.
Yeah, it can sneak up on you very fast, especially in the Southwest. Mm-hmm. I mean, Sunday, we're going to get our first 3-digit temperature. It's supposed to be 103, 104 this coming week. And it does sneak up on you. So you're sweating. A lot of people don't wear the proper wicking and covering their sleeves. So they're out there in tank tops, and they're sweating and not replenishing it as fast as it's going. And so you recommend taking a sip, I think, every 5 to 10 minutes and just pretty much replenishing whatever you're losing. And it's so convenient, especially if you wear a full face helmet. It's difficult to drink out of a cup holder, And this, I could just open my modular just enough to get the straw in my mouth or whatever what is that called? The hose, the straw.
Hydration hose.
Yeah, here. And then cover it back up. That's my bike. Out in the area you were kind of talking about, we were headed to St. George, Utah. That's in Mojave Valley. That's my bike. And you can see the ThirstRock system right there on my tank. That's the famous Forrest Gump stretch of the road where he said, "I'm tired. I think I'll go home." And I said, "I'm tired. I think I'll take a sip off my ThirstRock." Yeah.
So can you explain to people how it secures to the tank?
It's basically several ways. Basically, it's a universal mount. So for the steel tanks, like actually a lot of the import cruisers, Harley Davidson, Indian, a lot of those bikes, they have steel tanks. So it has a wraparound magnet system that allows it to mount on the tank bag.
Perfect.
Or right on the tank, I'm sorry. And then for plastic or aluminum tanks, we have riser strap attached to the front, and then there's 7 D-rings all the way around the tank bag. So you can add your own straps, resell straps, and so basically that we have never failed in mounting it onto some kind of
it's super versatile.
Good.
Because
Right.
I have multiple motorcycles. I'm blessed. I'm not bragging. I'm blessed. And I can move it from tank to tank. And on my bike that you just saw, there's crystals on the tank. And so the flaps are very flexible too. So I'm able to move them in a little bit more. And the magnets, I've had some tank bag purses and things like that. And they're suspect. They're not really locked down good. But those are the strongest magnets I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's a wraparound system. So it wraps. Most magnets are probably mounted on the inside of the base. But these wrap around and literally just kind of grip the tank.
Awesome.
And by design.
Yeah, it's great. And it's insulated. So if you're listening on K-Shop 1400 or 107.1, you can also go when you get a chance and you're not in your car, go to the Facebook page, Open Road Radio, and you can go back and watch this later, and you can see that the bag is insulated on the inside. So let's just talk about how the manufacture of it is. It's really amazing.
Right. This is the removable thermal liner in case you want to take it out and use it like a regular tank bag. Also, this is you could find it just about anywhere, but we had to have it specially designed and cut and fit to work inside the bag. After using this during the design process, I decided that not enough, and I wanted the ice water in triple digits, extreme temperatures, to be able to stay ice cold for hours, a whole day's ride. So we designed a proprietary insulation system and padding essentially is engineered to all 6 sides of the bag itself.
So what that means is that every single panel has additional insulation. It's an R96 value. So if you were insulating your home, that's what you would want to use.
Oh,
That's why you get cold water in triple digits for hours. I mean, a full day's ride.
Right.
And then the bladder is convenient. It's a quick release, and it allows you to go in anytime you're filling up for gas. You go into the convenience mart. This wide mouth, the widest on the market, allows you to hit the ice dispenser on a soda machine, fill it with ice and water, and you're not freezing it because of all the dual thermal insulation. That's what keeps it cold all day long.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And just a little secret, you can put a little container of Laughing Cow cheese underneath the bladder, and it stays cold.
Yeah.
What I was going to add is exactly to your point, but more on a serious matter. So we're talking about safety. I retired from healthcare, and I can tell you one of the things that caught my attention when we were doing rallies is people talking about overheating. And we talk about how once you have an event, you're more susceptible. So women overheat more, especially later as we age and our hormones change again. But anyone can overheat. So thinking about drinking this, but if you're diabetic, if you have issues with your kidney, you can keep your insulin pen, your EpiPen, anything you need for an emergency.
Chocolate snacks.
And these days, these wonderful computers that are tiny overheat, you can stick it in between the liner and cool it off so it doesn't overheat and leave you
That's a good
foamless when
idea.
you're on a hot
Yeah.
trip. Because that happens all the time.
That's
these
a
days.
great tip because I have mine handlebar mounted
Yep.
and I use it for my GPS. And that has happened to me where, and it's Bluetooth, so it should be fine if I stick it in my bag.
Yeah.
It'll stay cool on my. I'm getting ready to do the 48 states in 10 days, and it's going to be hot out there on the
10?
road. So
10.
I got one more good tip for you.
10 days,
That one-
please.
Take your neck wraps, your
Mhm.
extra that are wet, and leave them on top cold, already
yeah.
wet.
In
And that way, when you stop, you can just
Great.
switch it out. And then you can also pop off. You were talking about this. So this allows you,
Yeah.
if this is on my tank, I can grab it with my gloves because it's bright blue. I can see it peripherally without taking my eyes off the road.
Well, that's good.
Two bite valves, a straight and angled. But like you, I use the straight one for my modular helmet. Goes right up, drink. I let go, it goes back. But when you're stopped, you can just literally take off this, press down, and use it like a faucet. So you can wet your bandanas and then put them back in there.
Yes, you absolutely can. You can also just pour it down the front of your shirt.
So how much water does it hold?
3.2 liters, so just shy of a gallon.
Oh,
A lot.
nice.
Yeah, it's a lot. It'll last you all day. I mean,
That's great.
it shouldn't actually. If you're in a full, like you're going on this 10 days or 48 states in 10 days, you should be drinking. You should be filling this up a couple times. At least.
At least every other stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love that it has that quick release, and you can just take it out and take it right inside. And they see you. The gas stations, I've never had one problem with anyone letting me. And I just add ice to it. I don't normally add any water. I just keep adding more and more ice, and it works great. So, okay, well, tell them where they can find one if they want one and they don't win one today.
We can go on we're actually going to South Dakota. So if you're up in that neck of the woods, we're going to go to South Dakota, work in the Deadwood Trike Rally or three-wheeler rally. And then that'll be in July. And then of course we're going to be there for Sturgis out at the Black Hills Vendor Park.
But we are online.
We are online. We can ship to you at Thirstyrockhydration.com.
Great. And tell them about the law enforcement, the program that you do with the law enforcement, and you give them a discount and things. So tell us a little bit about that too.
Yeah, we give them the government rates, but we definitely sell to the law enforcement for police motor units from San Diego City / county all the way out to Amarillo. Vegas Metro is a big user. Utah, Nevada Highway Patrol, Utah as well. So their motor units are all using this gear right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And for the viewers, there's a QR code right there up on the screen you guys can click on to get more info.
Yeah, so anyone can contact us through the website. There's an email, contact us. Dan will give them a promotional discount for any law enforcement, first responders, even retired.
The military too.
Because and veterans. We definitely want to honor that all year long. And just to point out, there's a couple different models, one with the map pocket. This is a Molly and Velcro, so you can add any kind of accessory attachment to it and expand however you want. So it really is versatile. Like we were saying, we want you to personalize it so it works for what you carry with you when you're on the ride.
Right.
Nice.
That's great. I have the one with the zip pouch, and that's where I put my liquid IV. So I don't use it all the time in there, but
Yeah, I use my maps, and I have that one on my bike. And like Dan said, so every one of these units comes with 2 shoulder straps. So when you get to where you're going, you can take it off, use it with you. I like to carry some food with me when I'm at an event. So I actually have snacks and water with me.
Yeah, we last year we had some downtime between the 2 rallies and up in South Dakota, so we hiked all over Rushmore National Park and Monument and all that area, the Black Hills. And Irene would never let me use it once.
Take it off the bike, put it on your back, go hiking.
She took it off my bike, threw it on her back, and then took off.
I need an Irene taking care of me out there on the road.
I got the bottle of water. Awesome. Here it comes. Yeah.
I like my snacks.
Yes, she does, yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We want to also give a shout out to some of our listeners and viewers. We've got Cupcake in the house. I saw Tammy Potter signing in and Larry's thoughts. Hey, I'm going to give a shout out to Larry. Larry, I want to thank you. Larry called up my mechanic and paid for a set of Dunlop Elite 4s for my motorcycle for this trip.
Nice.
Those are 10-day tires. And so, Larry, I want to say thank you for sponsoring my tires. We've got Cupcake and also Nightingale in the house. Nightingale is a UMC trauma nurse, and she knows firsthand the importance and what happens when people are not hydrated. So we are going to take a break. We're going to go pay some bills. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Gina out on the Pandemonium Circus Ride. And we will bring our next guest in, Michelle Jamison from Bandanas by Michelle. Thank you, Dan and Irene. And we're going to go to a break.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
You too.
While some products fix problems, Andrews solves them. With nearly 50 years of passion, precision, and high performance, Andrews Products changes the world of motorsports. Engineered and manufactured in-house, Andrews excels by using aircraft steel, then machining to the closest industry tolerances. If you need powerful cams, gears, and transmissions for your ride that are proudly made in America, use Andrews Products. Contact AndrewsProducts.com or call our tech line Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 847-759-0190.
How can you tell if somebody actually cares? Look at their actions. At Full Throttle Law, we are all about protecting riders. We have sponsored or created over 20 safety-focused events in the past year alone. Track days, riding seminars, emergency response classes, first aid courses, garage nights, and fundraisers for local independent charities. Any law firm can help you get a settlement if you get hurt, but we're already on the road with you, doing everything we can to make sure we all get home safe at the end of the ride. Full Throttle Law. We ride together.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We want to welcome our listeners from K-Shop 1400 AM radio and 107.1 Vegas FM Las Vegas. So we are back in Full Throttle Law Studio, and we are missing Gina tonight.
Yes, we do miss Gina. We hope she's recovering and still having a little bit of a good time, right?
She's having a blast. I don't think Gina's missing us today.
No,
she is having too much fun at the
right.
Pandemonium Circus Ride, celebrating the 75th anniversary of Panheads. She certainly loves vintage motorcycles and everything that has to do with those. So, hi, Gina. We miss you. We hope you are listening, but also resting. You have been going
and
for the last couple of days.
I'm sure she'll be covering some of that next week.
Yeah.
Letting everybody know, what a great time she had and how the event went, so on and so forth. We've been talking about it for so many weeks. I'm sure everybody's going to want to recap. So,
yep, you can also go to her Facebook page, Gina Woods, and check out all of the pictures she's been posting from the road, the greatest ride on earth. And there you got Corey, our producer. Thank you, Corey. You are just so awesome working in the background for us.
He is amazing.
Putting up those pictures. Look at that smile on Gina's face. She's right there in the center of attention, like she should be.
That's right.
And just having a great time. So we have Michelle Jamison in the green room. We're getting ready to bring her on, and she is going to talk about everything crystal. As you can tell, I've got one of her beautiful bandanas. You can definitely spot a bandana by Michelle a mile away. And so let's go ahead and bring her on. Hi.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Good, Michelle. How are you?
Fantastic.
Where are you today? Where in the world is Michelle?
Minnesota.
Where?
Minnesota.
She's in
Right on.
Minnesota.
What part? What part?
Southeastern Minnesota, down by Rochester.
Oh, okay.
So between on the Wisconsin and Iowa border.
Nice. Nice.
So
Good.
yeah, and it's been dry here. It's been absolutely crazy. We thought we were supposed to get a thunderstorm yesterday. We haven't had rain like a month and a half, so it's been not good.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. So I met Michelle probably about 10 years ago. And I think at that time you were still living on your motorcycle and traveling all
Yep.
over the country. So let's go back that far and how you started your business and riding and, you know, just traveling everywhere.
yeah, okay. Well, I actually used to manage apartment communities, and that was my job, and absolutely hated it. And had to, you know, working for somebody else, and it was horrible. And I thought, if I've worked this hard for somebody else, how can I do my own business and do what I love? They always say, if you do what you love, it's not work. So I thought, you know, I had 3 pictures hanging in my office. I had a picture of Tiger Woods playing golf, a picture of a motorcycle on a twisty road with a treehouse and a cabin. And then I had a picture of, let's see, Tiger Woods. Oh, the twisty road, and then the captain. So how can I make a living riding my motorcycle? And Tiger Woods gets paid millions of dollars to play golf. What do I like to do? I like crafty things. So I quit my full-time, full benefit, full paying job, salary job. Mom and dad cried and thought their oldest daughter had lost it, was going to be living on the streets. And I actually did think I was going to be living on the streets after 3 weeks on the road, because oh my gosh, it was crazy. But I quit my job, started my business. I got my motorcycle license when I was 42. So everybody thought I was nuts. And just decided to make myself something pretty. And it was completely different than these are. And everybody wanted one, so I made them one, and then their mom wanted one. There's, you know, hey, maybe I could do this as business. And so, yeah, I was going to be gone. I'm actually writing a book, and it's funny because the first chapter I reread, and it says, today I start my 8-month journey, and it was 5 years on the road.
Wow.
And I used to sell them off the back of my bike everywhere I'd go. And now I'm in over 100 Harley dealerships, Indian dealerships, Australia, Canada. They've been on The Voice. Danny Trejo wears them. Miranda Lambert's wearing them. And Shannon Dazzlin wears them. And
Wouldn't leave home without one.
yeah, so that's basically what I did. And I love what I do. I do live shows now 5 days a week, Nooners with Michelle and Thursdays. And I just kind of tell it like it is, and we have fun. And I love to inspire women. I knew so many women that would not even go out to dinner by themselves, or they wouldn't go to a movie by themselves. And then when I find out I put over 100,000 miles on it in 5 years, traveling with a motorcycle camper behind my bike all across the country and living in that motorcycle camper to start my business, they were inspired. And that's my thing. You know, you don't have to be with somebody. You don't have to do something with somebody. Do it yourself. I met so many lifelong friends just in gas stations, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
it's been awesome to meet people. Yeah.
Right now we have a picture of me with a handful of bandanas because I can't just have one. And your parents.
Right? Yes, mom and dad. I tell you, more people come to the rallies looking for mom and dad. I'll be 50, I can't remember, 7, I think 56. And so they're like 76, 77. People come to Sturgis to see them, and they have so much energy and they have so much fun. And they actually ride motorcycle. They started out when they used to ride 150 Hondas, and I'd ride behind my dad and my sister ride behind my mom. And I had a mini bike when I was like 3 years old, and I'd have people push me around the campground. So I grew up as a tomboy, just having that. And it's so much fun for them, and it gets them out of the house. And
they seem to be super supportive. Every time I've run into them, and they're working hard out there with you, right in the trenches.
Yes, they are.
Sleeping in the tent also. Are they in the toy hauler this
absolutely.
year? Have they graduated to not?
Yes, this would be the first time in 13 years that we're going to have a toy hauler that they can sleep in with real beds. Otherwise, we've slept in the back of my tent right behind the Loud American Bar. And it is the Loud American Bar. I mean, till like 2 or 3 in the morning. And so this is going to be the first time that we actually get to sleep in real beds. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be quiet. But yeah, we'll be I've been in the same spot for the last 13 years. Check out my website, bandanasbymichelle.com, under the rally page. Always tells you where I'm going to be set up. So we're going to have a booth at Black Hills Harley Davidson again, a big booth, and then down on Junction by the Iron Horse, inside a building. So they're getting air conditioning too. We don't have a tent. So yeah, 2015, my road name, they nicknamed me Stormy. I rode in rain over 250 days, was in 2 tornadoes, lost both my tents in Sturgis, laid down my street glide in a rain so bad that I couldn't even see, and slid into a guardrail. So I couldn't believe anybody even wanted to ride with me anymore, you know?
And I remember a couple of really big storms. Those tents don't offer a lot when you're in the middle of a storm, and it collapsing your whole display and everything in Sturgis.
Oh, it was the 75th Sturgis, the year 75th Sturgis, because we went for 30 days actually in Sturgis. And the day that the actual rally started was the day that the storm came. And I remember being in shock, and it looked like a little Chinese laundry. Mom and Dad had taken all the bandanas because they were soaked. It was just everything. So they picked them all up, and they had a motorcycle camper too. And Dad had strings and ropes everywhere, and fans going, and a space heater. And the next day I was exhausted. I might get choked up, but I walked out, you know, and I've spent all this money, and this is going to be the 75th Sturgis. Yeah. And I walked outside, and my dad had taken 2 of the banner poles, put it up in the air, had my banner there. That's all that was there, with clothes-pinned bandanas there. And he says, "We're open for business." And I just lost it. I started bawling because I'm like, everything was down, and my dad's like, "Nope, honey, we're open."
Yeah.
You know, if we got to run a U-Haul or whatever, we'll sell them here off the table.
What
we'll
a great dad.
Yeah, from crying, going, "What is our daughter doing?" Now they're like proud of me, so it's excited. I employed the whole family now, so
yeah, it's cool. They saw your vision.
Happy belated Father's Day to your dad after hearing that story.
Yes, you'll always see him out there cleaning my motorcycle. He likes to make sure it's cleaning.
Tell them about this beautiful motorcycle. So there's a picture of her crystallized motorcycle. What's your baby's name?
That's Gracie. All my bikes have had names, and they've all been boys, but she was just too pretty to have a boy's name. So that's Gracie. Over 15,000 Swarovski crystals. And I always think it's funny, you know, the bike is always in front of my booth, and she'll be in front of my booth in Sturgis, not at Black Hills, Harley. I'll be in Sturgis. And I get a kick out of guys coming up when I first got it, and I had a black Indian Roadmaster. And they'd come up to my dad and go, "Oh, sir, what a nice bike. Congratulations on your new Indy." And he's like, "Yeah, thanks, but that's my daughter's bike." And they're like, "What? She rides that?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so I remember this one guy, must have been like 5 or 6, you know, 20, 30-year-olds. And they're going, "Oh my God, that's a big bike." And he goes, "I don't think I could ever ride that." I said, "That's okay. Get on the back. I'll take you for a ride." His friends were just razzing him. But yeah, it's neat to see so many more women riders out there, which is awesome. Awesome. You just didn't see it before. I remember when I went and got my heritage, and I went to try a street glide, and my mom and dad were with me. And this guy, when I left to take the street glide for a ride, he goes, "She can't ride that. That's a man's bike." And my dad's like, "Well, I dare you to tell her that when she comes back." Isn't it funny?
Yeah. It happens too often.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the good thing is we don't have a lot of people asking us if that's our husband's bike. You know, there's be a lot of people that I see on
Yes.
different blogs and stuff that they'll say, people ask me, you know, is that your husband's bike? Or, you know, do you even know how to start that thing? They can clearly tell that your bike is
Yeah.
yours. Nobody's probably
Yep.
giving you a hard time about that. So I'm sure everywhere you go, those people that have not, people all ask me, is that a bandana by Michelle? And I'm like, yeah, of course it
Thank
is.
you. I love
Of
that. I mean,
course.
that's what
Yeah.
I've worked hard at building my name, reputation, and quality in my product. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't just want to throw things on something. I want to be proud of what I made. I want to, like I said, inspire people. Every bandana, all of my bandanas have my label on the inside. So you can make sure that it is a bandanas by
Authentic.
Michelle. Yep. And you can wash them. We guarantee the product. We even have an app now. You can download the app, Bandanas by Michelle.
Okay.
And actually, I just created a coupon for your listeners, and it's Open Road Radio. 10% off from today through next Sunday.
Nice.
Open Road Radio.
Thank you.
There you go.
Download
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. And Michelle is a give back person. We were recently on the High Seas Rally, and the amount of things that you donated for raising money for the Dialysis Foundation. I just want to, and I know you do that. I know you do so many charity events and use donating your products to help people raise money for their charities. So I want to just give you a shout out for that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell
In fact,
get your beautiful
we're going to do one.
creations.
What's that?
Tell them where they can get your beautiful creations.
Yeah, you can either go to bandanasbymichelle.com or download the app, which is Bandanas by Michelle. I think you see that there, Bandanas by Michelle. And then we send them everywhere in the world. And what I was going to say, you're talking about the donations. We're coming up with, it's either going to be for the rest of June or July, where we're going to set up a button where you can either purchase a bandana or donate money, and I will make the bandana, and then I'll donate a percentage of everything that we earn to go to St. Jude for June or July.
Nice.
So we get a lot of women and children go through hair loss, you know, and it's tough, you know. You don't realize how important your hair is, especially
really is.
to women.
Yeah, and
so
I
like
appreciate
these, they
you
like
make
the
mine a
long
little
scarves.
bit bigger for me because I have the problem because of being on chemo for lupus for so long. She specifically makes mine a little bit longer.
Nice.
So, that's so fancy.
That's a really pretty one.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's
So these are the long scarves, which are nice. They can open up like this. You can actually even wear these as shirts, which is great. And now, Shannon, because I do so much online shows, we still do the big rallies. But now we do jewelry and clothing to try to match everything. Because as women, you know, we got to match the bandana with the shirt or the shoes.
The drapes,
you know,
need to match the carpet, as they say.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Okay. And with that,
with
that, I'm going to say thank you very much, Michelle, for coming on. We really appreciate it. And thank you for sponsoring my 48 state ride in 10 days. I really appreciate that. I've been picking out which bandanas. I don't know if I'll have a different one for every day, but I'll have plenty of them so you can follow my travels as well. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me to your show, you guys. I appreciate it.
Corey is in the background reminding us that we need to go to a commercial break, and we will be back with Rob Carlo and an interview about his long distance motorcycle riding and other things he's doing. Corey, take us to a break. Let's pay some bills.
While some products fix problems, Andrews solves them. With nearly 50 years of passion, precision, and high performance, Andrews Products changes the world of motorsports. Engineered and manufactured in-house, Andrews excels by using aircraft steel, then machining to the closest industry tolerances. If you need powerful cams, gears, and transmissions for your ride that are proudly made in America, use Andrews Products. Contact AndrewsProducts.com or call our tech line Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 847-759-0190.
How can you tell if somebody actually cares? Look at their actions. At Full Throttle Law, we are all about protecting riders. We have sponsored or created over 20 safety-focused events in the past year alone. Track days, riding seminars, emergency response classes, first aid courses, garage nights, and fundraisers for local independent charities. Any law firm can help you get a settlement if you get hurt, but we're already on the road with you, doing everything we can to make sure we all get home safe at the end of the ride. Full Throttle Law. We ride together.
All right, welcome back. K-Shop 1400 AM radio, 107.1 FM Las Vegas. And it is Penny FXR and Dazzlin in the house in Sin City, Full Throttle Law Studios. And we want to again say hello to Gina if she is out there. And we will see her back next Monday.
Yes, yes. And now we get to bring on Mr. Rob Carlo. Let's bring Rob on, Corey. Rob, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. You have so many things that you do, but first, I just want to pick your brain on how many miles do you ride? Why do you ride? If you can explain to everybody how you started riding, that would be awesome.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up riding dirt bikes, myself and my brother. And then as we got older, he got a Ninja. Kawasaki's wanted a Harley Davidson. I really had no interest after dirt bikes to get my license and ride on the street. So 9/11 happens and my younger brother gets killed in the South Tower. We were both New York City firemen, both working that day. And I got lucky that day. So one day after work on a Friday night, Saturday morning, two of the guys in my firehouse are going to Harley Davidson to pick up their Harleys. And I went with them just for the ride. No intention on buying a bike. I go there. The salesman tells me he has one left. And they're all firefighter specials. They just came out with those bikes. Wow. And I hear my brother's voice saying that he wanted a Harley. So that's what I did. I right there, I bought the Harley in memory of him. So I still have the bike. It's a 2002 Road King. It has 90,000 miles on it. And that kind of rolls into what I'm doing now. My first road trip in 2003 was the 100th anniversary of Harley Davidson. So this year, I planned on going to the 120th anniversary. And because of the way that I came about riding, I'm honoring Harley Davidson, but I also want to honor all the firemen that were killed on 9/11. So I've been visiting as many 9/11 memorials along the way, as well as stopping at Harley Davidson dealers. I have a database of over 1,250 9/11 memorials all around the country.
Wow. And how many of those have you hit so far, Rob?
I don't have an exact count. I do have it written down. I do need to count it up to get that number. But I would guess that I have over 300.
Do you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah.
The number 343 is a significant number. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So that like I said, that's that's the number of firemen that were killed on 9/11.
Yeah. So I remember one of the first times we met in Sturgis. Weren't you on a chopper?
Yes.
How many miles did you put on that bike?
So in 2004, I bought a Texas chopper, American Iron Horse Texas chopper, and I kind of didn't ride the Road King much after that, and started riding the chopper. I had over 60,000 miles on it when in 2012, where I live, got flooded in Hurricane Sandy, Superstorm Sandy. So the bike got wrecked, but it had 60,000 miles on it. I did a bunch of Sturgis trips on it, did a couple coast to coast trips on it.
Gotcha. Now, why don't you tell people about the Tour of Honor as well?
Yeah. So Tour of Honor is run by a set of brothers, Dave and Steve Brooks, and it starts April 1st every year, and anybody can join. It's a self-guided motorcycle tour, and there's a state sponsor for every state, and they pick out 7 memorials in every state. They and then you can just go and visit them and take a picture and send it in, and it could be a challenge if you want, or it could just be a way to go and pay your respects to everybody that served our country. I'll tell you, it gets you off the beaten path, and it gets you to places that you've never been before. It's a lot of fun. And they're the ones actually that put together the database for the 9/11 memorials. So they have a some separate rides where whoever gets the most 9/11 memorials in a year, and then they give them an award out named after my brother Michael.
Wow. That's amazing. Now, is that first we got to tell people what this map is all about real quick.
Okay, that looks like it ends in Redding, California. So that was probably about 3 days ago. Where that's my current map of my mission as of 3 days ago. Right now I'm up in British Columbia, so I've already ridden through Oregon and Washington. So this map actually is where the sun stopped shining. And it's been raining ever since the end of that map.
No kid.
So yeah, that represents to date. I have almost 18,000 miles ridden. My motorcycle, I just turned over 343,000 miles yesterday.
And that bike being a
2011 Road Glide. And first thing everybody wants to know if it's the original motor. I actually had a 7-year extended service plan on my bike, and I got a new motor on the last day of the 7-year warranty. And
Good
that
for
happened
you.
that happened in the year I showed up on a loaner bike to Sturgis.
I remember.
Yeah. So they put a new motor on my bike at Grizzly Harley Davidson in Missoula, Montana.
So,
it's actually I think I had all 343 guardian angels helping me out that day. I know my brother was, because it was a Sunday. The dealer was open, and I was only 28 miles from the dealer, so everything worked out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, this ride that you're currently on, your goal was 120 dealers for the 120th anniversary.
Right.
And you just started this in March, and you're well over 100. Well, you're 124 dealerships now?
Well, I just hit my first one in Canada, in British Columbia, so I'm at 125 dealers right now.
Wow.
This photo here with the fire truck is it's in Oregon,
Medford,
near the Rogue River, and one of my fans on Facebook knew I was going to show up there. I try to post every day where I'm going to go. And they arranged for the local firehouse to show up, and it was great. I got to meet these guys, and they gave me some patches and a hat, and it was just neat to meet some guys. I mean, and these guys have been through so much. I understand their firehouse actually burnt down in all of these wildfires.
My son was out in Medford, Oregon. That's where he lived during those fires. my son Peter, and then my stepson Tyler is a Cal State fireman, and he was actually in the command center at that time, and he was in charge of all those wildfires that were going on back then. Really proud of our firemen. They don't get enough credit for what they do. Each year we do a event here, two wheel for our firemen, and we go to, it's like 10 or 12 local fire stations here in Las Vegas and feed the firemen that day.
So really quick, being a long distance rider, and everybody need to check out his long distance motorcycle riding group page that has 65,000 members, which is or is it 85? It's 85,000 members, which is amazing. What advice would you give Dazzlin that, she's going to be doing the 10 states in 10 days?
48 states.
Or 48 states in 10 days.
Gonna leave on July the 2nd at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm headed up. First stop is Clarkston, Washington.
Okay, so I don't know your background with like iron butt rides or anything, but the biggest thing, and probably one of the biggest misconceptions about doing iron butt rides or trying to make time, it's you don't have to speed. It's not about how fast you go. It's actually about how little you stop. So when you stop at the gas station, don't take a half hour at every gas station. Get your gas, do what you got to do, and get going, get rolling again. And try to have a lot of snacks and food on your bike that you can get to while you're riding. Because the more you can do on your bike, that way when you're stopped, all you want to do is sleep. Get your sleep in, and then get back on the bike and start going. And of course, have all the right gear for all the different climates you're going to be in, and stay hydrated and be comfortable. And you should be able to do it no problem.
Yeah, I've done 3 1000s, and I did one 1500 in 30 hours with my good friend Choke, who's watching tonight. And I sure didn't feel like getting back on the bike the next day. I can tell you that. So I'm just going to go tank to tank to tank. That's what ground pounders like yourself have told me, going with a friend, Gorilla Blue, who, does 4 corners and 4 corners at an X and all those things. And my good friend, Gene Bollinger, who has 1.5 million miles on a motorcycle. So I was cruising down your page, and I look forward to getting some more tips. It was a pleasure. Hopefully we will our paths will cross at some time. And thank you for all that you do for our heroes and bringing recognition. It was really great to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for all you do, Rob.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
So we've got about
if
30 seconds.
If people want to follow me, it's the page is Road Warrior, aka RDub.
Yes.
And it's on Facebook and Instagram.
And also,
absolutely,
long distance motorcycle riding on Facebook as well is your page.
Yep.
Thanks,
all
guys.
Right. Well, we are going to say goodnight in Sin City. Thank you, Rob. And join us every Monday for the fastest hour in motorcycling. And K-Shop 1400, 107.1 in the Full Throttle Law Studio. Penny, thank you again.
Thank you,
great
Dazzlin.
show.
Absolutely.
Thanks for bringing Rob. I really enjoyed talking to him.
He's a great guy.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you for tuning in to America's premier motorcycle talk show, Open Road Radio.
Hey, thanks for coming along. We hope you enjoyed the